Well, hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It's so great to be back with you, and my name is Amy and I will be with you for the next few shows, which I'm excited about this week. And we are starting off here in Namibia at the beautiful safari hook with a elephant bull that is deciding to have a little bit of a splash around. We might get a bit of a pool party going on here. Must be quite a warm day. There's some zebras in the background, a heron doing some fishing. There's always quite a lot of life around this particular spot here in Namibia. Now, of course, as always, it is a live and interactive show, everyone. So please do chat to me and send through any comments and questions that you may have as we go along in the next 2 hours. It will be great to sort of chat to you. You know, there's some interesting topics that come up. If you have any questions about what we're looking at or what we're not looking at, you are welcome to send them through via whichever method is easiest and most convenient for you. Philip, hello. You say good morning from the UK. Fantastic to have you with us. Ella, yes, let's scan those water holes indeed. I'm excited. You know, every day is a chance to see something new, and we will be scanning not only myself but the team in the control room in Joburg, but as well as the zoomies, the amazing zoomies who look at the cameras and find some incredible stuff for us to look at as well. So yeah, it's definitely a team effort. Banterat, happy Tawny Tuesday. My goodness me, didn't we have a Tawny Tuesday today on our sunrise safari for all our YouTube members and explorers. It was quite amazing. Maybe it'll continue at the waterhole, you never know. Ooh, that heron just got a fish. That was cool. Panthers, hello, welcome. Good to have you with us today. It sounds so nice to hear from so many of you who are enjoying the show with us. Now, on my last show with you, which was last week, Saturday, we had an elephant bull here that was doing some interesting stretching. I don't know if it's the same individual. I just saw him lean a little bit there, which was peculiar. So we thought maybe he just had maybe a tight muscle or something that felt better when he stretched it out. But he was walking fine and didn't look like he was necessarily in any pain. It was just a fascinating thing. Jan, hello. Yes, welcome. Oh, you've joined us just in time here. Watching this elephant relieve itself in the water hole. And yeah, I mean, why not, you know? You gotta go, you gotta go. You can see the heron that caught that fish. Well, I think it was a fish. It looked like a fish. Just there on the left-hand side. Busy probably cleaning its bill or having a little drink of water to flush down its prey. And it's once again on the hunt. I don't know exactly how much a grey heron needs to eat a day, but when it comes to birds, well, for the time, whether they're nocturnal or diurnal, the time that they're awake for, they are basically, if they're not in breeding season, what they're doing is looking for food. And so that one fish down, many more still that this heron wants to hunt. Yeah, I think that is how you pronounce that. You're asking, why do elephant bulls often drink alone away from the herd? So often it's because they are no longer actually part of the herd. And so they live not necessarily always alone. Sometimes they will be in groups of bulls, which we see quite often, especially when resources are quite limited. And so bulls will then be on their own because they're no longer with their natal herds, and that's why we see them alone or in a small bachelor group. Well, from Namibia, we are going to head over to Tanzania. Our favorite agama is back. It seems to be the resident male here in this location, known as the Spider-Man agama, well, one of its names, because of its coloration. You can see it looks quite pink, but it is also red and blue. And this little guy likes to do push-ups, flexing those front legs. Very entertaining. And so its full actual name is the Mwanza flat-headed rock agama, but is also known as the Spider-Man agama. And right now it is loving the sunshine. You can see those very large ear openings there behind the eye as well. You'd actually almost think that it's for breathing, but it does have little sort of nostrils right in the front of the nose. But I love the detail that we're seeing. I mean, the position of all the scales, so beautiful. Yeah, so 50, I love those colors as well. Absolutely stunning. Oh, there we go. Hey, little man. Yeah, Sally, it's a great question. I mean, those holes are quite large. Oh, there we go, doing some push-ups. But I can imagine they can't go too far without realizing they need to come out again if any bug did go into those holes. Also, I can imagine the lizard the agama would react quite viciously I mean, I know if a fly comes near my ear, I am shaking my head or swatting it away. So Ronald, no, I wouldn't say that the red color links to danger at all. The agama species are known to be quite brightly colored, whether it's orange or blue, red or pink, and particularly in the males, and that is, the coloration is for attractiveness, I would say, to a female, making them stand out. As far as I know, it's not sort of like aposematic coloration where, you know, a frog is a certain color, or insect to warn predators that it is toxic. Melanistic marble, you're asking about the claws. They are pretty impressive, aren't they? Both on the front and back legs. And yeah, I think for all of the above, what you listed in terms of clinging to substrate, so it helps give them grip. Like on rocks, you also get the tree agamas, so they also need those claws to help them climb. Same with the rock agamas, but not so much tree based. And then yes, hunting as well. They are for the most part insectivorous, so it helps them clutch and grab onto whether it's ants or beetles. I think it just tried to jump and grab something, unless it's on a workout circuit. Push-ups, jumping jacks, you know, inspiring us all, one Spider-Man agama at a time. Philip, yeah, he is a smart little fellow, definitely. I think he knows this rock very well. Well, we are going to stay in East Africa, everyone, but head over to Oldonyo. Ah, the old familiar beautiful scene here, and there is a giraffe that has hopefully come to drink. Oh, and a zebra showing up. That's very nice. We always love a little bit of variety. These animals do make me laugh sometimes. I think just a bird that flaps too close and they react. It's nice to see some other zebras arriving. Bali, you would like to know why we don't ever see storks at Oldonyo. So realistically, for most of the stork species, if I think of, you know, some of the more common ones or ones that would be here, a lot of them are, their food comes from a water source. So you'll see them wading and sort of hunting in the water. And in that case, there's not much water here. Not much. I don't think there would be hardly any fish in this small little water hole, so there's really no food for them. So that's why we wouldn't see them coming here. You might see a marabou stork arriving to rinse off or clean off, but it wouldn't necessarily be here to hunt. So in Bali, that would be why, I mean, even herons, egrets, for those that are based around water, there's just really not enough resource for them to be seen here. Bianca, I think in desperate times a hippo would use whatever water is available to it, but for the most part, no. We likely are not going to see a hippo arriving here unless it is a desperate drought, or, you know, a young male's been kicked out and there's nowhere else nearby that he can sort of go to. Because with the frequency of the amount of animals as well that do come and drink here, that hippo would have no peace. I mean, if you think of the other water holes where we've seen a hippo in, like Rosie's Pan, for example, in the Lowveld, even that, the hippo is bothered by ellies when they come to drink. So you can imagine in a water hole like this, that I would think is definitely looks a lot smaller than that, and also probably not the deepest, you would find that a hippo just wouldn't choose this if there were other choices available.
Would you like to know at what age a buffalo calf gets its horns? These are questions that you can ask me in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature. Look at this. Wow, that's amazing, everybody.
Live.
We'll see you there. Oh, have a look at this. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know where to look. This is too astounding for words.
Unreal. This is what they call a shambi, a family, a whole herd of elephants.
Nature is just everything.
We will be extending the show by a few minutes.
A fascinating animal that kind of draws people to it.
We'll see you out on the safari.
We're going to head back over to Safari Hook. Well, this is just beautiful, isn't it? My goodness. And he looks, I mean, right now almost like he's having a bit of a snooze. Although there is movement, so he's not completely unconscious. This is very typical for an elephant bull to do this kind of behavior. Koala, it's so peaceful, and you can actually just get into the mindset of this Ellie. You know, it's quiet around. He's actually got very little hair on his tail, I just noticed. I don't know if tail baldness is a thing in elephants as they get older, but it's just interesting to see maybe something at some point pulled out quite a lot of his tail hair, or he just never had too much to begin with. Pondo, it can mean that an animal is sick if it's losing a bit of its fur. So in this case with this elephant, it was just something interesting that I noticed. I don't think it points to any signs of this elephant not being well at all. But on other more sort of furry animals, like in lion cubs, even jackals, when their hair starts to get quite thin and bald patches occur, they often have what's called mange, which is a parasite which basically irritates the skin to a point where that hair starts to fall out. The animals are licking and scratching a lot, and so it just doesn't look very healthy, and eventually that makes the animal quite vulnerable to other sort of things that it just becomes weaker, I suppose, in general. All that energy that it's using to try and scratch its fur and that type of thing, rather than focusing on all the important things, especially for younger animals. So it is something that can definitely indicate that an animal is not healthy. Yeah, seeing an animal with mange, I was just thinking about it now. I've seen it quite a few times out in the wild, and it's something that's not very pleasant to see, especially in cubs. What happens is, there is a chance of survival. The mite itself is not necessarily deadly, but what happens is that when that hair is basically scratched away, sometimes even sores from the intense itching can appear, and then there can be a secondary infection, and the animal itself just becomes weak and can then die or be preyed upon by something else. So it can happen in herbivores as well, not only predators. But mainly with animals that then have that sort of fur coating, not so much with elephants. Dara, they definitely can, depending on the reserve and the different sort of monitoring programs they would have. Rangers all over different reserves in Africa are on foot every single day and have to the elephant got a fright from the bird. Have to make notes of what they see, and if they are particularly tasked with monitoring elephants or taking note of animals that visit certain waterholes. That's part of what field rangers do. And so if a particular population of elephants is being monitored at a specific time, then yes, that will definitely be part of what they do. Doris, so the reason that someone in the field would know that they're not counting the same elephant twice, from my understanding, is that one would look for a distinguishing factor or take note of, let's say, this particular bull. You know, there's something that the ranger would take note of in terms of maybe tusk or a marking or anything like that, in terms of, you know, where it is, where it's headed to. And I think realistically, in a day, if someone's, you know, monitoring the water holes for a particular day and seeing what life is there, what animals come to the water hole, one would have a very clear idea of the individuals that have come to that water hole. Okay, yes, with herds it can be more difficult, but it's amazing what the human brain is capable of doing. And I know even for myself, where I've spent time, let's say, at a lodge on the deck, and you're watching the river and you see a herd of elephants come to drink in the morning, and then you recognize that herd by the afternoon, because you know that there was a female with those very straight tusks, or this was the herd with the baby that had a certain way of walking, or, you know. And so those are the things that one would be looking for to be able to differentiate certain groups. So not necessarily every single individual. With bulls it's a lot easier if they just come down one by one, and you would see, you know, the bull drinks, okay, it's moved off that way, now you've got another individual coming from the other side, it can't be the same one, for example. So it's all those things that make it possible to actually make sure that you are not counting the same animals twice. Okay, we're going to head back to Old Doniel. Well, this is nice. The rest of the journey has arrived. Oh, there's quite a youngster there in the middle as well. Such a fluffy ossicones. Just leaning down now to drink. These two little ones are very cute. I do love a baby giraffe. Oh my goodness. So Kalani, not so much their ears in terms of cleaning. Definitely their nose. You can see this one licking already. That nose is very flat in the front, and that tongue is very long. So they're able to lick all the way around their mouth, quite far out. I suppose if they really wanted to try to get to their sort of eye or ear, they could technically reach it with their very long tongues. But I think the ear might just be a stretch too far. But generally you see them maybe licking more around the nose. But they definitely do use their tongues to do that. Melanistic marble, no. So these are not twins. You can actually see there's two females here, and most likely one for each of them. Also, the one on the right looks quite a lot smaller, I would say, than the one that's currently at the waterhole. Just a much smaller head and shorter neck. Tennis, yes it is. How exciting is that? We have, well, I wouldn't say great weather, but compared to last week it's pretty great. Every day this week is quite overcast and cool, with maybe if it's warming up towards the end of the week. I don't know exactly when we'll see the sun again on drive, but we are just grateful that it is not pouring with rain. And also giving a chance for everyone to start cleaning up and doing the repair work and the things that need to be done to get everything going again in the Lowveld. All the businesses up and running, the lodges to reopen. It is going to take some time. The first thing for a lot of reserves or lodges to open is to actually just allow the water to drain and evaporate and things to just dry out, because you can't work on something that's already saturated with water, and proper work can't be done. So it needs to, oh, there's Mount Kilimanjaro sticking out in the background. That's beautiful. It needs to sort of dry out, and then the work can, in putting soil and adding rocks and fixing bridges and all of those sorts of things, can then begin. Looks like we've got some Namakwa doves here too. I just saw a few landing, and there's at least one male with the longer tail and the black on the face. The others look like ringneck doves. Kevi, yes, you most certainly do get flamingos in Kenya. The area around the Great Rift Valley is one of the prime spots to see a lot of flamingos. It's one of the things I hope to see one day. I think it's one of the spectacles out here that you just don't see anywhere else in that sort of number. So yeah, you definitely do get them. I don't know if we'll ever see one arriving here at Oldonyo, but they are in East Africa. Some more youngsters arriving. There seems to be a lot around today. That's very cool, actually. There's also a big male giraffe in the background there that was sniffing the backside of that female just now. I wonder if she's probably not in sort of her peak estrus at the moment, but he's definitely picking up on something that means that he needs to hang around a little bit just in case. Nolene, the lifespan of a giraffe in the wild is about on average 25 years or so. Can be a bit more than that or a bit less. Generally it's about that. Gillian, these are the Maasai giraffe species here that we see in East Africa. So different to the southern giraffe. Oh, okay. Those two took off quickly. Very skittish. Let's head over to Lentor. Oh yay! We've got some baboons that are here for a drink, always providing us with entertainment around the Anna tree that they climb up, little ones playing. Ella, they can chase other animals away that are generally, I suppose, smaller than them. But yeah, I mean, if an elephant arrived or a rhino or anything like that, they would, move out of the way. They're not going to try and intimidate something as big as that for the most part. You always get exceptions to these things. But yeah, I think that if they wanted to, they could chase off birds and things like that that are at a waterhole if they didn't want them there. Alright, we are going to head back over to Oldonyo because I believe there is a beautiful view of the mountain. Well, there we go. We did see it coming through earlier, but the clouds are giving us a great gap now to see it for ourselves, which is very cool. And yeah, what an incredible mountain it is. And quite interesting when watching and looking up the sort of the history of Mount Kilimanjaro, the volcanic the volcanoes that form it, plus nearby some of the other mountains. So very interesting with that and the whole area of the open area between, whether it's the Serengeti into the Mara, and then you've got the Amboseli, and just the whole area, and how the volcanoes help to shape that whole place, and why it's is the way it is, why the grasses and the trees and the entire area is the way it is all based on a lot of the soil and a lot of the soil types that come because of the volcanic activity that was around. And yeah, it's an incredible thing to see, and we don't always get to see the mountain because it is often hidden by cloud or haziness. And today it is just peeking out there with a bit of its snow cap that's showing for us too.
Hello, I'm James Hendry, and I'd like to take you on a very different kind of safari through the wild heart of Madagascar. In Undersea, we'll track the Indri's eerie call through misty rainforest. Then it's east on to Masuala, where lemurs leap through the jungle, coral reefs glow beneath the waves, and adventure waits around every bend. Come, let's explore it together.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly here in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Palumba and the two cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Look at this. Wow, that's amazing, everybody.
We'll see you there.
Oh, have a look at this. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know where to look. It's too astounding for words.
Unreal. This is what they call a shambi, a family, a whole herd of elephants.
Nature is just everything.
We will be extending the show by a few minutes.
A fascinating animal that kind of draws people to it.
We'll see you out on the safari.
Okay, well, we are going to head over to Founders now. Wow, well, I haven't seen it clouded over in the Eastern Cape at Founders here for a while, and it's good to see the clouds. The Cape, both the Western and the Eastern Cape of South Africa, has been extremely dry and warm, and many places experiencing drought in terms of water supply, so they need rain. And so we're grateful to see the clouds here at Mantis, even though the sunshine and the blue sky is always very pretty to look at. We are grateful for the cloudy weather. Hopefully it actually brings some precipitation. But there are giraffe here as well. So these would be the southern giraffe, not the Maasai like we just had up in Oldonyo, and they have come for a drink. We're going to head back over to Serengeti in Tanzania. Well, this must be the female. Flat-headed Rokogama here, and it looks like it's busy shedding its skin. I was wondering what that flap was on the right. I was like, what is that? But reptiles shed their skin, so not every reptile flakes should I say sheds their skin like a snake, where it all comes off at once. With tortoises and agamas and lizards, it'll come off in flakes, just like what we're seeing here now. And for those who have reptiles as pets, one of the important things that one must never do if you do have a reptile as a pet is pull that off, because it will come off when it's ready, and you can then expose the skin that's too sensitive and shouldn't be showing just yet, by pulling off on top of the scales that aren't ready to be exposed yet, even though it's very tempting. And you can clearly see that color difference between this one and the one we were looking at earlier. The same species, but the colorful one being the male and the more gray plain one being the female. So Camilla, the agamas like this one will be quite heavily insect based in their diet. So it will be anything from ants and termites to bugs and beetles for the most part. Okay, let's head over to King's Camp. Well, we love this log in the waterhole. It is so often home to the terrapins that come out to try and warm up. There's not very much sun around in the Lowveld today, so I can understand this terrapins desperately trying to absorb any heat it can from the environment. You can hear woodland kingfisher. Oh, there's starting to be a little bit of movement there in the legs. I wonder if it's not going to plop into the water shortly. Always amazes me how maneuverable these terrapins are, even when they are on a log like this and seemingly can't move at all, but still they manage to get where they need to be, whether it is up or down. Okay, we are going to head over to Tembe. Wow, it's been a while since we've been here, at least for me, and it's looking so beautiful. They've also had a lot of rain here in northern KwaZulu-Natal, especially Tembe. It's very close to the Mozambican border, and you can just see how lush everything is, how these mud wallows are full of water and mud. The elephants must be absolutely loving it. And nice to see a herd around here too, a little one popping out. Not just the boys. Oh, that one's come to do some digging. You can see how it's using its tusks there. We often ask sometimes, why do elephants have tusks? And this is one of the things that they use them for, is to be able to loosen ground like that. Wow, it seems like all the Ellies have come out to play this afternoon. How cool is this? A lot of them now actually moving towards the waterhole itself to drink from, whereas these pools and pans are more for splashing about. Belinda, I would definitely say that there are some small creatures that I'm a lot more comfortable with and fascinated by being around sort of before I took up the bush as my career. Yeah, I mean, whether it's snakes or spiders or little things that run along the ground, it's not something that fascinated me when I was a child or anything like that. And I've never been a huge fan. You're always a little bit scared of something you don't really understand. But now that I understand them a lot better and I know more about them, and I'm always excited when someone says there's a snake. I'm like, oh, let's go see what it is. I'm not about to go and play with a puff adder or anything like that. Safety first always. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more comfortable even with the spiders and all the spider webs, and you'll often have a bug going down your shirt when you're driving with a spotlight, and that's just part of life now and you embrace it. So yeah, definitely not as sort of put off by those sort of things as maybe I once was when I was a lot younger. Wow, what a beautiful scene here at Tembe with all these ellies. So we are going to head back over to the rental. These baboons are very relaxed here. I thought maybe they would have moved off by now, but I love when they sit like that, especially some of the younger ones. Oh, a little stretch. Chilean baboons are endlessly entertaining. They really are. That one is just so lanky. My goodness, tiny body with such long limbs. Oh my goodness, look at these two. I feel like they are being very naughty. Oh, there's 3 now. Someone's gonna fall very soon. Oh, and there's a feather. Don't know who that feather's from. Looks like a very large feather. These 3 definitely look like they are up to no good. Don't know what that little one's finding on that feather to chew on. Maybe there's a bit of something that it's just looking in between all of those little bits of the feather to see what's just playing, really. It's a new toy. You've had to come back over here to Jackie's, everyone, but there are some hippos around here at the waterhole. Looks to be quite a lot of weaver activity around as well, which isn't surprising for the time of year. You can see a few of the nests there. And there we go, we can see them so clearly. There's a few males busy still adding more nests. Very, very busy. So Caroline, it's a great question. I have a few theories with regards to why particular weavers build their nests hanging over water. More often than not, it's often the village weavers, but also sometimes southern mast as well. We saw that at Sandringham. I think.
Step into the exciting world of the original science. Next September, Master Tracker Renus Mhlongo and Wild Earth's Steve Falconbridge lead a spectacular safari through the Kruger, where you'll learn to identify tracks and then trail iconic big game on foot. Days are spent immersed in the field, evenings around the fire sharing stories, from the hair-raising to the hilarious. This is the ultimate wild immersion for the nature connoisseur.
Amazing, everybody!
We'll see you there.
Oh, have a look at this. Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know where to look. This is too astounding for words.
This is unreal. This is what they call a shambi, a family, a whole herd of elephants.
Nature is just everything.
We will be extending the show by a few minutes.
A fascinating animal that kind of draws people to it.
We'll see you out on the safari.
It's always nice to see different animals together at the waterhole, and it's such a beautiful day here. It seems that the clouds are getting less, although they are concentrating there on the horizon. It does seem more sunny than what it was earlier. Benny, I know what you mean. They are so relaxing, and it is something that you can quite easily just close your eyes and relax to. Alright, so I believe there's something interesting to have a look at Jackie, so let's go see what's happening over there. So I believe that this is a dead hippo. I'm just having a look to see some more detail. It definitely looks like hippo skin to me. I assume that the reason it's being said it's dead is because it's been sort of in one spot without any movement whatsoever. I don't know if we know any more details about it at all. And yeah, there are casualties due to the rains and the floods that we've had, and sometimes hippos do not survive. But yeah, I'm just interested to see if it is confirmed to be. I mean, it doesn't look like it's. I mean, the only other options would be sort of big and dark like that is maybe a buffalo. Doesn't look like elephant, or then rhino, which it doesn't really look like either. Haven't got the best view, so I'm not going to. We need a better look for a longer time to confirm, especially if maybe some scavengers come or some predators and move it around a bit for us to get a better idea there. But it didn't look too furry or hairy like a buffalo skin would look. Also, then you would have the horns that would probably stick out. Alright, well, we definitely will monitor the situation and see if anything comes to find that carcass. But in the meantime, let's head over to Safari Hook. We have the Ellie in the water, looking very relaxed. Some springbuck drinking in the background. Well, looks like he's turned away from us, so we're going to head over to Serengeti. Always nice to see our little friend here is keeping us company throughout the waterhole show today. Ronald, so not this species. The Spider-Man agama, the male looks like that. But there are other rockogamas and triogamas that are different colors. We're going to head back over to Safari Hook. Actually, we're going to head over to Tau. Well, this is beautiful. We always love to watch Ellies here with their feet in the mud, eating away. seems a little bit quieter at Tau today in comparison to other days. Normally quite a bit of general game around too, although they might be on the other side. I do see a stork there in the background fishing away. Sarah, he absolutely does have the buffet all to himself, enjoying all of the grass here, not having to share with anyone. There are some wildebeest making an appearance. That's nice to see. It's a little black crake that was moving around there. Let's see if this elephant's actually going or just heading over to the grass. You can see it's a lot longer there. He hasn't fed in that spot yet. Ronald, not so much fully grown elephants. They are strong enough to get out of the mud for the most part, but there are some smaller animals or baby animals that have potentially been stuck before. Some here, but also in other places where areas do get very muddy. Ash, it's an interesting one, you know, the saying with an elephant never forgets. They do have an incredible capacity to remember. They are highly intelligent animals, especially emotionally. They can sense things and feel things quite deeply. And yes, because of that, because of the size of their brain as well, you know, they can remember. And they do remember things. And so, you know, for us to say an elephant never forgets, we don't know. You know, there might be something that they forget. But for the most part, they do have incredible memories to know where resources are, to have certain routes and paths that they follow throughout their lives. So, yeah, they do have a remarkable ability to remember things. elephant looks like he's trying to get his legs over that bit of grass there as he moves around. There's some zebras having a bit of a go at each other in the background. Anthony, there are, sure, there's probably quite a lot of animals that I haven't seen at live at the waterhole. We've been very fortunate to see most predators. I haven't seen, in terms of what I've seen during the live shows, I haven't seen a serval or a caracal at the waterhole during one of my shows. Yeah, we've been fortunate with a lot of other things. I mean, haven't seen a chameleon, quite a few of the bird species that we haven't seen before, but a lot that we have. It just really depends on the area, but yeah, there are plenty that haven't come out during the day. Alright, let's head back over to Serengeti. Oh, this is a lovely view of a baboon doing some foraging here. You can see getting some, I think it's some grass seeds that it's busy trying to eat. And this is really what baboons do get up to, you know, all day when they're out and about. We say foraging. They are omnivores, so they eat a variety of different things, from bugs and beetles to fruits and flowers. Lots of grass seeds, I think, make up a lot of their diet because there's so much of it around now in the summer. Sarah, it's an interesting thought. I think it does depend. Excuse me, sorry. Just had a tickle in my throat there. But Sarah, I would say that it does depend on the age of the baboon. You know, the younger the baboon is, the more reliant it still is on its mother for milk especially, and then also for protection from the rest of the troop. So I don't know exactly what its chances of survival are if mom dies. You know, if it's under 8 weeks, I would say probably very low. As they get older and they are foraging and doing their own thing independent of mom, there's a higher chance of survival. But they may also get targeted by other individuals in the group that, you know, now that it sort of doesn't belong with anybody. But I don't know the exact dynamics of baboon troops in that way, you know, in terms of those sort of details of what would be the case, and if an instance has been recorded. And I'm sure there has been research done, perhaps just because there are so many baboons around in cases like that. I would like
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. This is action-packed. Amazing, everybody!
We'll see you there. Well, have a look at this.
Wow, wow, wow.
I don't know where to look. This is too astounding for words.
Unreal. This is what they call a shambe, a family, a whole herd of elephants.
Nature is just everything.
We will be extending the show by a few minutes.
A fascinating animal that kind of draws people to it.
We'll see you out on the safari.
Compared to monkeys, I would say, the more meat they eat, but still classified as an omnivore. Let's head over to Aldonio for the last few minutes. Oh, what a way to end. We've got Mount Kilimanjaro popping out for us and a beautiful elephant here at Aldonio. Wildlife Lady, thank you. It's been a wonderful day at the waterhole with you all, and yes, you will see us later. I'm so happy to say that. We'll definitely be out on drive, and then of course I'll be back again tomorrow with another live at the waterhole show. So yeah, we hope to see you all again then. Melanistic Marble, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to everyone for sending through your comments and questions. As always, it's been wonderful to have you on board. Sarah, thank you as well, and of course to FC and all the Zoomies as well for the work that they do. It was a great show, very relaxing here at the waterhole. And yeah, we'll see you, for those who will be out on drive with us, we'll see you then. Otherwise, the rest of you, we'll catch you tomorrow. All right, everyone, goodbye for now.